OK Furniture's summer of savings is here, and we bring the hit with sizzling deals. Explore our catalog for unbeatable savings on smartphones, sleep essentials, premium appliances, and more, and shop these must-haves by the 11th of January 2026. We've got everything you need for the set this season, online and in store at OK Furniture. Get them while they're hot and while stock lasts. T's and C's apply. It is getting reported by World Sports Betting. It is getimes.co.za. The African Cup of Nations has come and gone. Bafana were in the last 16 of the African Cup of Nations, losing to Cameroon. People have had 24 hours to simmer and to allow the taste to settle in their systems. A lot of people have spoken, of course, and a lot of people have complained. Some people protecting the coach, some people blaming the players. We'll spend some time in this video to talk about what went right, what went wrong at the African Cup of Nations. Was the coach to blame for some of the things? Were the players to blame? Why did some of the players perform? Why didn't some of the players perform? Thank you so much for joining us. Please make sure you are subscribed to iDiskiTV. Mr. So-and-so, thank you very much. Welcome. I called you guys earlier this week just to be able to respond to the African Cup of Nations. Yeah. Was that a failure from us, if you think about it?
Mr. Gunjan Fit.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Chairman, my chairman. Mbulisa na nemakha can support njalo iDiskiTV. Nzobenjo benjalo ngichike futhi. Mr. Kewu, to be really honest, it's not a failure. You know, this is football. There's three things in the game that when you go inside the field of play, you need to expect and fix yourself to be ready for win, lose or draw. So that is football. Why I'm saying it was not a failure is because when you look at the game itself, Cameroon, we need to, I would say, I'll put myself with the players to say we need to blame ourselves, not the coach. Why I'm saying this? I'm saying this because the coach did put the structure and he knew exactly what is he going to deal with facing Cameroon. And how he planned, when you remember that 22 minutes of the game, we were all of, actually the game was supposed to be finished by 22 minutes. Because the chance that Mfukeng got, one Kabini and Foster. 3 chances. That is 3-0 in 20 minutes. The game is done. Unless, we will see maybe Cameroon change and do whatever. Like they did, Mr. Kew. But looking at our side, I would say it was not a failure.
The tournament was not a failure.
No, it was not a failure. We did our best. There were moments where I thought Hugo Bruce will always really be this defensive mode, but with how the game asked him questions, he answered, even though he was late at some point with about 5 minutes, 10 minutes to respond, but he did respond. Because another game that to look at against Egypt, where I think, look, Mr. Kew, in football, that's why I say in football, expect those things. When I look at that game, Egypt, they had one shot at goal the whole 90 minutes. That was the one that happened second half with the substitution.
Oh, they had a red card as well.
Yes.
Besides talking about the games themselves, Mr. So we kind of mentioned at least a little bit.
Yeah.
What does Safa, what does the players, what does the coach think about this? Do they think senze kahle masibuye ekhaya bajabulile abantu senze kahle?
Look, they're disappointed, Mr. Nkeo, because they didn't go as far as everyone wanted them to go. And that one, they're disappointed. But in the other side is that, look, we need to learn. We need to learn that as last AFCON, we got the bronze. So it means we made everyone to open their eyes when they play against us. So we believe and we think that we were more comfortable than other countries in terms of taking, I would say maybe take it more seriously in terms of player selection, preparing, time, in the camp, so that everything must go accordingly.
Are the players that you thought were going to give us something but did not, and why?
Not per se I'm disappointed, but I think he had he had an average tournament because I expected a lot from him, Usipombule. And also Mfukeng, I thought he's gonna be a starter. He's gonna, be the one that really carrying us as a nation. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen like that. Yes.
What did you think about Sibumbula? Was it a matter of quality or ingqondo? Because we do know that he's good in South African football, or maybe it's about levels that some overrated in like there's a level where, because obviously even at the World Cup, maybe this point will be proven again at the World Cup. And if you think about the Champions League, he's never been a star in a Champions League campaign. I remember Coach Rulani was using him as a central midfielder, taking him out every 60 minutes, taking him out as well. At the time, he was still working on his cardio, of course, and fitness and stamina. Is there a level that he can't break?
No, I think he can still show us Usipo. Something that also happened in football, Mr. K, is that when you are not also being paired with also players that will really complement you and give you the support that you need, sometimes we don't see the best out of you. I'll make a good example. Umes was playing for Argentina for years and years and years. And Umes, when he was playing for Barcelona, a star. He took him a player of the season, I don't know how many times. But coming to Argentina, it was difficult for him to really win Magala Argentina to rise.
But you could still see the individual moments.
Yes.
2014, he took the team to the final.
Yes.
They lost to Germany in the final. Before they won it in 2023,
yes.
He would still drag the team.
Yes.
There's going to be, and I think we spoke about this actually around the time of the AFCON.
Yes.
There's a time when the ball is with Tso.
Yeah.
And Tso must show us his quality.
Yeah.
This is not a criticism on Mbule. We love him. But where was his individual?
Yeah.
Where was his individual quality?
Yeah, the problem was he was playing all the time facing his goalpost. That is not his strength. His strength is to play facing the opponent's goalpost. So I think when we played him as number 10, but I think we were also put him in the cage where I think we didn't allow him to move around or also drop in like Umshishi does when he sees that, I've been picked there tight. I can come in here and have a touch here and then still go back there. I think that's one thing that Umbule, I think he didn't really get it to do. And he made things easier for the defensive player of the opponents, because when you're also sitting there, he says, thank you very much. But if you make those runs to those pockets, you go there, you eventually giving him now a headache to say, he's forcing me to go to a direction where I'm not supposed to because I need to protect the defense. Eventually, by moving to the sides or dropping there, that's where he's going to play. And also by doing that, he's going to create a space to say, I'm moving, you guys there, Abo Mukwena, Nabo Obas, Nabo Stol, you can play Forster, and then I'll come as a third runner here. But those things, I think, those were the elements I think he needs to get it in that position of number 10, because sometimes you're not going to play with.
Do you think they're going to lose trust in him, coach? Because the coach doesn't really believe in attacking players in the first place. Maybe the buzz to media fans we were kind of forcing the issue to say this is the player. Of course, at the time we believed in his quality. Do you think that the coach might then think extra midfielder engmakelayo than to sacrifice, because they did play him in 3 matches at the group stages, and then he came in the second half, I think, in the last game, so they did give him a chance. Some of the matches he was starting. Do you think the coach might revert, because he's a defensive coach, he might just say, let me add another midfielder, he might play Albas, Tole, Notebucho Mukwena maybe at the World Cup, if there's any, or Abombata, the hard-working players in midfield, and not gamble with an attacking midfielder?
I think what he's going to do in the World Cup is going to do what he did against Cameroon. He's going to play with that five defense and two defensive midfielders. I think he's going to play like that.
So there's not going to be space for Sipambule, that's what I'm saying.
The way I've seen, because you know why I'm saying this, Mr. Keo, it's how we controlled the game until Cameroon responded. So I think he's going to go with that because of he's looking at the chances that we've created. If we bury those chances, we'll be talking a different language.
All right. Keep the conversation moving. Is there any question with the coach? Because socially in the country, people have the right to say anything. I'm starting to see voices where people are, it's as if Hugo Bros is uncriticizable. That's not correct. Even Dr. Jomasono got a silver at AFCON in '98, they still criticized them.
Yeah.
Utrot Moloto was not given a hero's welcome, even though he got a bronze in 2000. So there's nothing that Hugo Bros is achieving that other people have not achieved. But those people were still criticized, especially the black coaches. So all I'm just trying to say is here that there are no holy cows, even ourselves. Everyone who does a job in public, you have to be criticized. Nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
We can't be acting as if someone is a god, stopping Unganda Banyabantu from speaking out against a coach. That's not right. There are no holy cows. Whether we like those coaches or not, whether it's Rulani or our favorites, Abopito, still there has to be criticism, because even ourselves, we get criticized, and there's nothing wrong with that. Do you think there's any questions with the coach?
Mr. Keo, firstly, I will ask him to say, okay, coach, we're going to the tournament. You took these 2 young boys, and then you left Renas that to put him on standby, and then you left Lodge, you left Robla, you left Kekan. I'm talking about players that when you need soldiers there, they can come in and do the job for you. And then what was the point for you to take these 2 young boys and put people that they can do the job immediately, and then you put them on standby? And
because those boys were never going to play in the first place. It was a tournament experience. In fact, you could ask permission from Uke for still Bafana, not as on the team list, but as a traveling team.
No, that's something that can be done by our association. Because of the coaches asking to say, look, I want these boys to get that,
which is a good thing.
Yeah, very, very good. I want these boys to come in, get a feeling, be part of the team, train with us, do everything with us, but you're not going to be participating in the tournament. So that you can have a very strong team that when you need those socials, they can come in and deliver for you. I think for me, that was the biggest mistake that it did. And because when we needed soldiers there in the field, we couldn't get them.
Have you noticed in the country if people still want him to take us to the World Cup or not? What are you picking up from people speaking?
Some people are saying, look, this guy, he made us qualify to AFCON. He made us qualify to World Cup.
Something that has been done before.
Yeah, the thing, Mr. Kyo, how we polish things in South Africa when we want you to go all the way.
Santa Claus.
Yeah, we try.
For the Christmas one.
Yeah, we try and put it nicely there and there. But, Mr. Kyo, with our culture of us, South Africans, our culture, you know how we do it.
Utata Jomasona waya go final ne Bafana.
Yes.
98.
Yes.
But he never got a chance to take those same players to the World Cup in 98. But Philip Trozier.
Yeah.
And even that, Dr. Jomasona was replacing Clive Barker, who was the one who qualified.
That's where I'm going actually to say. Our late Clive Barker, may his soul rest in peace. He took us to the World Cup 98.
Yes. And he never got a chance.
All of us at FNP
exactly.
All of us were Design Bafana. And then what happened, our culture, that's where that is.
If it's a South African coaches and shit.
Yeah, you are in trouble.
Mistreat him. These people treat him badly.
We don't even think twice.
No respect for South African coaches.
We don't even think twice.
But your opinion, so do you think, okay, just take us to the World Cup and then you resign as you were promising?
No, look, Mr. Kewa, I think it's for me. Let's plan now for the next World Cup and the next AFCON. Because after the World Cup, he's going anyway. So
the 6 months you allow him to continue with his job?
No. For me,
hopefully not making any bad statements.
No, for me, no. For me, coach, you did very well. You took us to AFCON. You took us now to the World Cup. Thank you very much. Then I'll get somebody. Mina. Yeah. No, Mina. Thank you, coach. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way.
I don't think they're gonna do that.
No, not in a bad way, Mr. K. Because when a person says I'm leaving, Mr. K, do you think that person is gonna sit and have his best interest as he's leaving come end of July? No. Let's be realistic. Let's forget about other things. He's not gonna put his all effort because he knows that even if I don't go through to the next round, or I go through to the next round, I go to the final of the World Cup, but I'm going. So why should I keep the person like that? Already he's going.
In other words, if Beratu Yakubega, you're gonna keep.
Then if Yakubega, then that's where we'll say, okay, coach, let's fix. Because now you are staying. Let's fix. how you plan your team, how you select your players, what criteria are you using, and why you bring these young boys in the tournament like this where you need, that's where you fix because he's staying. But if he's going, then build. Then get somebody that will say, okay, let me start now and look forward to not this World Cup, but the other World Cup. So this World Cup is going to help me to learn more in terms of the experience of being in the World Cup. How should I plan for the World Cup? What is that I need to do? The criteria that I need to use in terms of selecting players. Because remember that in these 6 months, players, they lose form. Some players, they come from nowhere, now they are shining. What are you going to do? So that's why I'm saying, as he's going, for me, I would say, okay, let me build now for the next World Cup, not for this one, but this World Cup, it will help this coach that I'm putting in now to build a team for the future.
Almost every World Cup that South Africa has participated on,
Yeah.
there's never been the coach who qualified.
Yeah, no,
historically. Even Nalega Carlos Alberto Pereira.
Yes, same
thing. He left.
Yeah.
Abuya
Santana,
Santana, and then Carlos, every World Cup South Africa, it's been scandalous.
Yeah.
It will be almost historic, this one, if they continue with this coach.
Yes,
I would say to him that don't make any further arrogant statement. Yeah. Like the way he speaks to people, he speaks to us as if he's just telling us, you guys are Africans.
Yes, you can't tell me anything.
And they can't even see the difference. Yeah. But anyhow, if he stays there, I don't care. Like whether he stays or not, he's leaving anyways very soon. Yeah. Finally, from us to you, Mr. So-and-so, what did it teach us about domestic form? Because for as long as the best team in South Africa, which is the yellow one, was in decline, it was going to show Bafana.
Yeah.
Did it show, and what did it teach us about ukuhlonipha lendlela abadlala ngayo bona? Because we normally just copy and paste it. Last AFCON, we copied 9 players in the starting 11, copy and paste, and they know how to play with each other. Yeah. What did that teach us about that?
Mr. Nkeo, you know what we're doing in our teams? Let's not take it for granted as teams locally. Because whatever we're doing here, it plays a part in our national team. That's why it's so important that all the teams, they need to pull up their socks. They are not doing it for maybe Utso or Mr. Nkeo or just, no. But we are doing it for the nation, because now when we need to select the national team, we don't have to have a headache of, but who? We need to have a headache of, guys, we've got 100 players that are doing very well in the league. Who should we pick? Then we open to the public to say, guys, can you select the team? Because now we don't know. We can't leave anyone in this list because there's 100 players. But now, go back to what you said, Mr. Nkeo. Sundowns, they're doing very well.
I did kind of suspect, just before you go into them, I did kind of suspect as well, because combinations are important.
Yes.
It's a pity that those combinations were not, we couldn't take maybe at Pirates those combinations. Then you can kind of see those combinations, because like copy and paste kind of works.
Yeah.
But with Pirates, maybe we had those attacking players plus defenders,
but
not maybe the midfielders. Because of course, Usnatile Umbogazi. There was CBC a little bit later on.
Yeah.
So this is not about clubs or anything like that, but it's also about combinations. That I did kind of think that, okay, if the combinations will be the Pirates ones, maybe also they will help us. But also maybe the other thing we didn't consider was that Lababe Pirates, they're not experienced at that level yet. Yet. And unfortunately, we couldn't benefit from those ones from Sundowns.
But now again, when you say that, Mr. Nkeo, I'm sorry to put it this way. We put Ungezan. And I believe that Ukekana is much better than Ungezan. Much better. And if we had that pair of Ukekana, no Mbogazi, I think we're going to get something. I'm telling you. Because when you look at the mistakes that we did, even when we put 5 defenders,
there were still so many spaces.
You know, and Ukekana, you know why I'm saying Ukekana? Because he knows how to cover those spaces. And when you look at Mbogazi, how he was covering, I think they were going to complement each other very, very well. Because look at, very good example, when you look at how we were attacking using our fullbacks, Cheku Mudau, he was not really comfortable going up because he was not comfortable with the cover.
Yeah.
So now he was cautious in terms of going up. But when you look at Umudiba's side, he was comfortable. He was
Just to take it back, sorry, Mr. Tso,
Yeah.
I know I have to wrap up with justice now.
Yeah.
The lessons we would have learned from if these two clubs are not doing well, or not even, because both of them are still number 1 and number 2.
Yeah.
But Aksafani,
Yeah.
especially with Sundowns, playmaking,
Yes.
Uglala, philosophy,
Yes.
that we suffer. Now at least we've learned that lesson. We can see it now.
Yeah, Mr. Kyo, that's why it's so important that whatever decision that the teams are taking in terms of whatever structuring the team, the technical team, it's going to affect the national team if you are not taking the right decisions. Because I strongly believe that we lost the AFCON today because of Mamelodi Sundowns, they release That's when we lost the AFCON.
But then question would be, because you can't blame Sundowns,
Yeah.
you blame the national team.
Yeah, no.
Question would be that if you want what Rulani can give you, why don't the national team hire him? Because at the end of the day, when Sundowns helps the national team,
Yeah.
it don't ban.
Yeah,
Hugo Bros.
yes.
Hugo Bros takes the glory,
Yes.
and Sava takes the glory.
Yeah.
Now, if you believe in it, spend money, hire the right coaches. If you
Yeah.
besides the copy and paste,
Yeah.
take the guy who can coach that, or coach Pete, or whoever you think believes in that.
Yes.
Who can bring the best out of those players.
And Mr. Kewo, I believe that Coach Pito and Coach Rulani, they've got a lot of experience now as they've coached Champions League. You've won AFL, and now he's been knocked out to semi-final. Pito won it with Sundowns, won it with Alache, the coach Qatar. Now they've got a lot of experience. Now they understand now football better than when they were at Sundowns together, and then the other one
Developing
moved
as
there
coaches.
and all. They were developing themselves at that time. But now I think both of them they're in a point where they can deliver. You know, and when you look at even now Urulane it's doing very well. Now it
Isn't
tells
Algeria
you
is number one?
Algeria it tells you Uguti he has grown in the game, and Coach Pito, I mean, he has shown us time and again. So these are the people when I'm talking about that I'm looking at the World Cup that is coming, not at this one. These are the people that are because taking back to say that core that took us to the bronze, majority Sundowns players. And those players, Coach Pizzo did coach them.
They were coached by those two coaches.
Yes. So they did the very same thing from the board coaches. And they went to go to Coach Hugo Bruce. That Coach Hugo Bruce said, I love this. Can I have this? And that gave him bronze. But now, he went to this AFCON now. Where's that cream? Ngeke msenkewu ngeke uyidle uthi ufuna inkomazi marufa kubisi angeke uzuthola lokho.
Masivale njalo, Mr. So and so. Thank you so much for joining us. I don't know when we'll meet again. Maybe a breaking news story will meet us here again. There was a rumor about Coach Pito and Sundowns.
Yeah.
And then I'm hearing also that no, it was because of the case and all of that. So you'll never know. As these things unfold, of course, we'll respond to them if there's any breaking news stories. iDiskiTV, iDiski Times also spitting. Thank you for watching us.
This is Bongane Tso Vilakazi, they call me Tso. Niyazi bafethu, amakhosi for life, they are back in winning ways. Please, siyacela ukuthi subscribe iDiskiTV.